Today I'm off to part exchange my 2006 Zafira diesel 1.9 for Land Rover Discovery Sport 2016, 10 years newer, from Hunters in Chester, which is about a 2-hour drive. A long drive. I'm going to get this one on for 31 grand. So far 2017 has not proved to be a productive year in terms of my traditional market analysis, i.e. stocks, commodities and derivatives, as I tend to analyse that which grabs my attention rather than following a preset schedule. And for this year my attention has been focused on non-traditional markets such as politics, and where we had BrExit rammed down our throats to exhaustion point, culminating in the June 8th election disaster and its aftermath that continues. Nevertheless, my market analysis has continued this year, but unfortunately it's been on non-traditional markets such as local city housing markets rather than national or international. And in this video analysis of the UK near new used car market, so as to determine the best time of year to buy a used car of less than 3 years age, which hopefully will prove useful to some viewers. Just setting off. It's going to be a 2-hour drive to Chester. Let's hope it's worth the journey. Like I say, I already put £1,000 deposit down, only seen it online, but it's 18 months old, so still under warranty, and I'm buying it from a main dealer. What could go wrong? Hopefully nothing. However, in the run up to the end of this year, gold, stocks and housing will be my focus in attempts to conclude in trend forecasts for the new year. So expect a rapid series of market analysis forecasts into the end of this year, as has usually been the case for each past December. A Google search soon reveals that the consensus view of the best times of year to buy a used car in the UK tend to coalesce around the 2 plate changes of the year, i.e. 1st of March and 1st of September, being the most commonly propagated online advice to buy just before and just after the plate changes. Next, often most repeated, are the dealers' end of quarter sales targets for bonuses and other perks, namely by the end of March, June, September and December. And also often mentioned are expectations that the best used car deals tend to be in the winter months due to less consumer demand. So for 2017 I undertook a comprehensive analysis of Britain's used car market of less than 3 years age, which involved tracking the prices of individual cars, of how they changed in price as they remained on the market until sold, which by mid-December totaled more than 400 vehicles, as I attempted to ascertain the trends in used car prices as set against the averages for the year, so as to come to a conclusion of when are the best months of the year to buy a used car in the UK and which months to avoid. Given the size and scope of Britain's used car market, then the following key conditions further refine the range of the cars I would track. All of the cars were less than 3 years of age, i.e. from the date of the first registration, so still under manufacturer warranty, with 80% of cars in the 1 to 2 year range. Secondly, the used car price range tracked was between £18,000 and £40,000, as I soon realised that the lower price cars tended to exhibit far greater price volatility, i.e. dealer profit margins tend to be a greater component of the lower priced used cars. Therefore I focused my research on mid to upper range of the used car market, such as tracking the Nissan X-Trail, Volvo XC60, Honda Civic, BMW 7, Audi 6, etc, and the Land Rover Discovery Sport, amongst others. Thirdly, to determine the average prices for each year, the usual considerations when buying a car were waited for, such as the age in months, mileage, trim level and any factory fitted options.
Turn left onto Arthur Street, then your destination will be on the right.
That's not my destination. Range Rover, here we are.
In a quarter of a mile, turn left onto Catherine Street.
Arrived. Work's done of some kind. Here we are. Building works expanding. So we'll have parking. Here's all the Land Rovers.
Head southwest, then make a U-turn.
Parking. There's nothing there. There's nowhere to park.
Take the next left onto Zealand Road, A548, then turn right onto Arthur Street.
There's nowhere to park.
Take the next right onto Arthur Street, then your destination will be on the right. Your destination is on the right.
As for the sources of data, of all the used car market sites out there, by far the most useful was cargurus.co.uk. As unlike other sites, CarGurus included data on the length of time each car has been on the market, as well as a trend graph for every price change, which made the tracking of hundreds of used cars much easier than it would otherwise have been. The next most useful car site was motors.co.uk, as it has a large volume of cars on sale, and then Pistonheads, and finally Auto Trader, which has dropped a long way from its market leader position of a decade ago. I also periodically searched and tracked cars at large dealerships such as Motorpoint and Evans Halshaw, and I noticed that many of their cars don't tend to get listed on the usual car selling sites, or if they were, it tended to be listed for a short period of time rather than permanently until sold. The net result of all of this analysis is a spreadsheet that runs to more than 3,500 rows of analysis on more than 400 individual cars, as each observed price change was logged. Can't see where mine is, so let's go in. It's not from Hunter's, Mercedes. I don't know what he's playing at. So it's got me chasing, driving around. I thought it was Hunter's I'm buying it from. It's from somewhere else, Mercedes something. So let's go to the car and find Mercedes. Give me a map. Let's go to the car and go. It's wasted 20 minutes. What they're playing at? Didn't tell me anything about Mercedes place. So I was wasted 15 minutes. They're sending me, Hunters are sending me to somewhere else called Mercedes. I've seen it popped up. Maybe that's where they're getting it polished. Yeah, so bye bye Hunters, and let's see what I've got in store. Why is this map not working? I'm going left. So bye bye hunters. Let's see where the Mercedes, she said.
Turn right onto Stadium Way.
At the end of the process, the data was converted into the following graph that illustrates the discount or premium price to the average for the year for the same make, model, similar age and mileage, with trim levels also being taken into account. The key conclusions of this research are: firstly, that the best discounts to the annual average are obtained from mid-November to the end of January, with December being the best month of the year at an average 5% discount to the annual average price, which basically means you are watching this video at probably the very best time of the year to buy a used car in the UK.
Exit the roundabout onto Countess Way, then turn right onto Gower Park.
There's a one the wrong way.
Continue on Parkgate Road for half a mile.
That's it. I've come to the right place. And there's lots
Your
of...
destination is on the right.
Yeah, I took a shortcut. So let's park up. Yeah. Hopefully my car's in the... Can't see. Okay, it's not far from Hunters. It's over here. Right then. So this is the new car. Back. Secondly, the worst time of year to buy a used car in the UK are during the summer months. That's from the beginning of May and into the end of August, as this is when most people are likely looking to buy a newish used car so as to enjoy travelling during the summer months. Thirdly, the March plate change. It is better to buy a used car in February than in March, whilst the consensus view is that it's better to buy after the plate change, as supposedly the dealers are awash with used cars brought in as part exchange. However, the March 1st plate change also goes along with extensive new cars advertising and marketing campaigns that ignites car buying interest right across the car market for the next 6 months or so. The only problem is this little rip. You're gonna have someone look at it. Everything else checked out. Well, for my 10-minute drive, tires are okay. Just that little bit. So let's go. Part exchange is a Zafira for this. That's the old Zafira and that's the new one. Let's go and do the deal. Fourthly, the September plate change. Again, contrary to the consensus view, buying in August just before the September plate change is probably the worst month of the year to buy a used car, when one is likely to pay on average an extra 5%, whilst in September an extra 1%. Therefore, the consensus view of plate changes being the best times of year to buy a used car brought in for instance part exchange for a new car appears to be just a marketing sales gimmick. Let's go check the mileage is right. So here we are, about to get the car. Do the deal. Let's check the mileage. 13,244. 24th of November 2017. That's okay, 50 miles above advertised. I've driven about 10 miles. There it is. Looks good. hunters. Let's go in and finish the deal. Fifthly, end of quarters. The consensus is that car salesmen have a quarterly targets to achieve, and thus the best bargains can be achieved at the end of each quarter. However, in terms of starting price before any successful discount negotiations, then the March and September end of quarters tend to be just average months in terms of forecourt prices, whilst June is one of the worst months of the year. Only December, the end of the year, stands out as being the end of quarter to maximise buying bargains. So it appears that if the consensus was once true, then it's no longer the case now, as it should be obvious to most that car dealers have already worked out decades ago that car buyers think they're going to get a bargain at the end of each quarter, when the reality is that cars are such price that it's just not going to happen. Nearly done. Let's get the bits, the remaining bits out of the Zafira. Phone holder. And this. Yeah, we're done. Bye bye Zafira. Bye bye. Been nice knowing you for 10 years. What's the Zafira done? Soon I'll be driving off with a new car. Everything's gone smoothly. I'm going back inside. Finally, remember that the graph presents the average discount or premium, which means there will always be cars that are overpriced and underpriced, which means that if one does the research and works hard enough, then a discount of as much as 15% this month against the annual average is achievable. And of course, one can pick up a bargain at any time of year, especially if one is an expert negotiator, though I doubt there are many out there who can out-negotiate a used car salesman. Just that November to January place the buyer at a starting advantage, which means that even if one never gets the dealer to drop the forecourt price by a single penny, they can still secure a good deal. Whilst during the summer months, one may find the dealer drops the price by several thousands of pounds. Well, that's because the car could be significantly overpriced to start with by as much as 15%. So yes, the dealer can drop the price by a few percent just to give the buyer the illusion of having achieved a good deal. All done, ready to go. Car bought, paid for, taxed, insured within 2 hours. Finished, all done and dusted. Zafira gone, and I'm on home. Bye bye, bye bye. So let's drive the new car home. Land Rover Discovery Sport HSE Black. Again, understand this: you are not going to out negotiate a used car salesman who does this every day for a living. The only advantage you have is knowing when are the best months and times of the year to buy a used car, which is basically now. And ensure you are subscribed to this YouTube channel for my forthcoming market analysis and trend forecast for 2018. Okay, I'm now gonna set off, drive the car for the first time on my own. I'll put it in reverse, so I'm going to go to McDonald's first because there's heavy traffic all around here. So I'll put it in the reverse gear, not touching the accelerator or anything. It's reversing on its own. Look, there's the reverse camera. I have to get used to looking at the reverse camera. Yeah. Right. You can see hunters there at the top, the cars lined up. cars moving backwards. So let's go! Go to McDonald's first. And off we go. Made it back. Nightmare drive. Really a nightmare. Not the car, the traffic and the windy roads. What time is it? It's nearly 8 o'clock. So I set off about 5:30. It's about 2.5 hours roughly. Nightmare. Never again. Well, I'm back. So first impressions are what? Looks good. Drives well. So far so good. Have a look at it in the daytime. So that's my first 3 hours with the Land Rover Discovery Sport HSE Black.